This is my Zenith Multiband Portable solid state. Inside it says 1966 or 1967. There's no model number on it that I've ever found, an actual model number. That doesn't mean it's that old, but I believe it to be in the 60s because the chassis looks almost like a tube radio, but it's transistor. And it's the old metal transistors that plugged in. You could actually plug in a transistor and replace it. They're the little silver can type. Not your little black ones that solder in a circuit board now. And all the way to capacitors, the way everything's made, it's got the old style stuff in it, just like tube radios did. It even has a couple of those wax type capacitors they still use. But it's been a good radio. I'll get in here a little bit closer. Bring this up a little bit closer. Has 3 shortwave bands. You got your FM, AM, weather, marine, and amateur and shortwave broadcast. It has a 4-footed extendable antenna which pulls down stores on the side, which I like. I like that. How it comes out, flips up. A whole 4 feet, which is really nice. It has some wear on it. It's been used. I gave $2 for it at a rummage sale from about 10 years ago. It takes D batteries, you got to take the back cover off. Well, there's an external jack for external power, so I have it in my power supply. This is what I have it hooked to right now. It's the same plug as a older earphone plug. So I got to be careful plugging it in. You can sort out. I plug it in first, then turn the power on. I used to run this off a small gel cell type battery I'd charge up on my battery charger. I'd run it for hours. I'd run it for weeks on the battery. I used to listen to it at night, but it has volume tone. It doesn't have fine tune, which wish it had fine tune in it. But when I got this, it did not work on shortwave. I went through this thing, and everything I turned, I marked. I was in there today. I cleaned it up and blew the dust out. I marked everything for each shortwave band, what it did. It took a long time. I had to restring this radio once, put new string on the dial. This has a curved plastic dial that has a slight curve to it on the plastic even. It's not exactly flat, but the metal is curved and so is the needle in there. So the metal where it's printed is curved, so is the needle on the dial. I don't know if you hear my power supply fan up there. And you might be able to see that's curved as it goes by. But it's been a good radio. Once I got everything working, I retuned it, got all the shortwave to work. What I would do is I'd find the time signals, the government time signals. So I had a constant signal, and then I'd play with it and tune it. It's kind of complicated. I wouldn't recommend anybody just turning in a radio. I got used to it over the years, tinkering with them, but there's no model number that I could find. It's just Zenith solid state multiband. I've looked all over inside. All I found was a stamped on the metal frame. And so I don't know if that's the year or not, but don't want to make this one too long. I'm using my tripod here so it's not shaky. Back here and get it in there one more time. That's on 5 megahertz. Yep, if I'm correct. But I'd pick the time signal when it came in good, and then I would adjust in there so I could make it stronger. There's also adjustments in some areas where if your dial's off, you can adjust the frequency. You can move the dial over and keep retuning it to center it. This is kind of complicated. But that's it for that radio. I have several I'll be making videos on my collection of radios.
At the tone, 4 hours, 30 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
When they give that time, it's not my exact
Standards
time.
and Technology Time. This is radio station WWB, Fort Collins, Colorado, broadcasting on internationally allocated standard carrier frequencies of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 3 megahertz, providing the day, standard time interval, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, radio station WWB, 2000 East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
But you have to add the hours. I can't think of it at the top of my head right now. When they say it's 1:30, I have to add like 6 or 7 hours. Depends on daylight savings time. I can't think of it right now, but I'll remember it. It's a good way to set your clocks. They do make a clock that actually picks that signal up and sets itself. But enough of that one. I hope I covered this good enough detail where you can see it. I need a little bit better lighting to do this. Maybe I'll improve as I go by each radio. But it is pretty good size. I don't have a ruler here anywhere. I don't have anything for a reference either. I got a tape measure, I guess. Approximately a foot across. All 8.5 inches tall. And it's a good 4 inches deep. It's a pretty hefty little thing. It's not lightweight. It's metal chassis inside. But thanks for watching this one.